Hi, my name is Ashley. So I wanted to come on here and tell a little bit of my story. Back in 2015, I started dating a guy. Around 2016, we found out that we were having twin girls. We were in a very tumultuous relationship. So in the very beginning, we really tried to make it work. We lived with his parents for a little while. We got an apartment. Well, eventually, we had my cousin move in with us. My ex's drinking started to get worse. He was going out with his friends multiple times. He even would go and have sleepovers at his friend's house, drinking all night. And I would be at home, just stressed out after fights and arguments and everything like that. So eventually, we had the girls, and everything was looking okay for a little while, though there were several fights, even fights when I was holding the newborns, or one of the newborns. He would try to take the baby out of my arms. There was multiple times my ex did not let me leave, even though I tried, because he was trying to say that I was kidnapping his children by leaving the house. After about a year, about almost 2 years of living together in our apartment, with my cousin living there for only a couple months to try to get back on his feet, there was a really bad blowout one night, and he got really violent with my cousin. I went to work, actually the same day of the fight, and I was having a really rough night at work. I talked to a couple coworkers about the situation. They all said the same thing. This guy is going to kill you if you do not leave this relationship, or he's going to hurt you. So you need to leave. That's the moment that I decided to call it quits, and decided that he was eventually going to get violent with me. And since I had already experienced that in my past, I did not want that. I made him leave. I made him move back in with his parents. My cousin and I were roommating for a little while. My now husband had walked into my job. I had worked at a hotel, and I had had a rough check-in day. There was just a lot of chaos. So I was going through the motions of handling that when he walked in the door. So I had gone home. I had kicked the father of my children out, and I had started communicating with my now husband. Moving forward a little while, I had been trying to co-parent with my ex, and he had put our children in a situation that made me go to court to fight for custody of them. But I told him that I was going to court, and he decided to file court paperwork literally within 45 minutes of me. On the same day, we were sitting across from each other at the courthouse. It was very awkward. He had claimed that I wasn't allowing him to see his children, which was very false, and I have all of the evidence to prove it. But because on paper he said that I wasn't allowing him to see the children, it made it seem like I was the hostile person in the situation, even though he was the one arguing, fighting, not keeping up his responsibilities as a father, all of this stuff, putting our children in danger, literal danger, because of his drinking. When I went to court, I stated the argument of that he was drinking. We have a very bad past, but I have been trying to communicate with him. I have been letting him see his children, all of the good things. I was basically told I was wrong. I didn't call us at the time. I didn't do all of these things that the judge thought I should have done. I didn't know I had to do that, because in the motions, I just handled it the best way I could. And so now, I have been trying to document all of these situations that he has put me and the girls in, and I am being ignored. I have tried to contact multiple lawyers. Multiple lawyers have not called me back. I feel like there is this bias against mothers where we are judged, because in the past there have been multiple women trying to keep children from men. But in the past, there's also been multiple men that have not kept up their end of the father. We can say that there's bad mothers, there's bad fathers, there's bad sisters, there's bad people, but there are good people, and there are misunderstood situations that I do not feel like the court actually gives attention to. Part of the reason why I make these videos is because I feel like I have gone through a really bad situation in the court system and been ignored. I have asked for help multiple times and not gotten anywhere. I have filled out the court paperwork the way they want me to. I have tried to be understanding and kind in my wording. I have been trying to detail and document times and dates and everything. And I feel like I haven't done enough, quick enough, and fought hard enough, but I don't know how. I don't know how to change the judge's mind and see that I'm not trying to be a vindictive woman and I'm not trying to manipulate the situation, but I have the evidence to prove that my ex has lied on court documents. I have the evidence to prove that I have let him see the children even after I told him I was going to court. I have only done everything in my power to try to keep my children away from harm. I have not been allowed to do so as a mother. I feel like if the roles were reversed, I would be understanding of the fact that he was trying to protect the children and do what was best for the children. However, I'm in a situation where he seems to get everything, and I'm not saying this in any ill manner, but it's the way that it's all on paper. He seems to get everything that he asks for, and I get condemned,